Hello friends, I am back, Rita Lawrence, here with The Science of Getting Rich, Chapter 14. This chapter is called The Impression of Increase. And I'll start with reading a quote from the chapter. The desire for increase is inherent in all nature. It is the fundamental impulse of the universe. That's so powerful. We were born to increase in all areas. There's 3 areas we can increase, and this is what chapter 1 covered: mind, body, spirit. And in my personal life, I have found that when I am struggling more, when I find challenges, when I am more frustrated, when I am, if it's in a relationship and I'm discontent or jealous or any emotions that are seen as more negative, if I really look, it's when I'm not growing. It's when I'm not seeking growth and seeking to advance myself in one area or the other. It's important to look at all 3 areas: mind, body, spirit. I do believe that completely. So think of that when you're in an area, or if you are in an area, or when you come to an area, because as long as we're human, this is going to continue to happen over and over again. The fact is, we can get around it. There is a way to change our reality. There is a way to continue to increase ourselves and who we are, and to improve every day, so that we don't have to live in a reality that we don't want, and that doesn't fulfill us, and that doesn't serve us and our purpose. So there is a way, and I'm going to share with you through personal experience and through things I've gotten from this chapter, how I've done it and what this chapter speaks to me. So desiring more, for what, first of all, shouldn't be seen as something negative or bad or discontentment. We are naturally born to grow. From the moment we're born as babies, we don't stay the same. The next statement: all human activities are based on the desire for increase. People are seeking more food, more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure. Increase in something, more life. So this is a daily journey. This is something we are naturally born to do. So if you're not already doing that, which if you're here you probably are, but if you're not, or you will relate to this, the times that you were not growing and increasing in some area is when we begin to feel stuck. Here's another powerful statement: every living thing is under this necessity for continuous advancement. Where increase of life ceases, dissolution and death set in at once. And I do believe the early signs of death are fear, anger, struggle, depression, discontentment, areas that are powerfully holding us down. Focusing on the past can cause death. I mean, if you're constantly looking in the rearview mirror, I've said it before, you're going to end up in the ditch. Another thing I heard this week was, you can't get to second base if you keep one foot on first. And most of us are trying to keep one foot on first because it's comfortable, and we get familiar with first base. We know, we get to, be comfortable with what we know, versus stepping out and reaching out into a new awareness and a new paradigm, which is necessary for growth. There is no way we can grow without learning new things, exposing ourselves to something different and new. And here's where many struggle, because they are not willing to step out of that comfort zone. They want to keep one foot on first base while trying to get to second and third, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We must get comfortable getting uncomfortable. Abundant life is what seeking more means. That's it. Whether it's in your finances, your relationships, your friendships, your love life, it's simply wanting a more abundant life. And that's a God-given desire and need. So continue to seek and grow and fulfill that. Continue to be open to the unknown and to gaining new understandings, because that is the only way. Today I was watching a video with my daughter, and it talked about, it's called Brain Games on Netflix, and it was talking about a reality and how what our eyes see is often not reality. Our brain and mind absolutely runs on a different level than what we realize. And oftentimes, we're living in a reality that we don't want, that's not fulfilling, that's not bringing us happy and success and enlightenment. But we continue to live there because we think that that's reality. We think that that's our truth. When the reality and the fact is we can change that at any time. You know, I talked about destiny here on my Sunday series, Code to Love, and how destiny is not something out there to grasp and to reach for. It's today. It's making the most of where we are today, grasping the reality that we desire for ourselves today, and making happen what we want to happen. That's our destiny. Fulfilling the desires in our heart today is our destiny, and can be our reality. And we can, in a heartbeat, change our reality by simply stating what we want our reality to be. It does begin in our mind, in our thoughts, and then it will absolutely come out in our words and bring into our life our reality. So it starts with it there. And you know, a great resource, if you haven't already seen it, is The Power in Words by Melody Riba, and it is in the files section of this group. So if you haven't already seen that and accessed that, absolutely do it immediately and share it with everyone you know. It is so powerful. It literally changed my reality when I started reading that. Melody is so amazing. And you know, if you're having trouble and you're stuck in an area that you really feel you want to get on a fast track and you want to have more support, reach out to Melody. She is my mentor, and that's what I did. And I'm just thankful that I found her, the angel she is. So I want to recommend you do that too. So the next statement we're going to read: convey the impression of advancement with everything you do. So Melody is one that's always inspired me to do this. Always be asking, how can I make this better? How can I improve this? What can I do to make this better? Always be asking that. Always be seeking to advance what you're doing yourself, obviously, and those around you. Always be asking people, how can I help you? You know, have a servant's heart. That is the biggest way to gain increase in our life in all areas, is to serve and to give. You know, we only receive to the level of what we're giving. So absolutely truth. And if you know, if you're faith-based and if you're a believer, you know, you'll know that's biblical. This was another sentence that just really jumped out at me here. Wherever you find a boastful person, you find one who is secretly doubtful and afraid. Simply feel the faith. So, you know, you hear people bragging and talking about themselves all the time on a day-to-day basis. As I'm reaching out to people, meeting new friends every day, people want to talk about themselves. And if you really truly look at it, those that are talking about and boasting and bragging the most are some of the most doubtful and afraid people. But we don't realize it all the time. We think, oh, they must have it all put together. They just got it all down. But really, there's something within them that's doubting because they're feeling like they have to prove what they're doing and who they are and what they've achieved. So remember that when you're coaching, when you're talking to people, that they need help too, those people that seem to have it all together. And then always go above and beyond. Always go the extra mile. And this chapter talks about it. See that you give them a use value greater than the cash value you are taking from them. So in any business endeavor, absolutely, always be giving more. Always be going that extra mile. The best way to get a customer long-term and to have repeat customers in your business is to give them more than they expect. You know, don't tell them in the beginning a whole list of services you're going to provide if you're unsure you're going to be able to do it, or even if even if you are. And then surprise them. Can you have her turn that down? Then surprise them with going above and beyond. Very vital, very important when it comes to relationships too. You know, We didn't accidentally stay married for 15 years this year. We're almost going to celebrate our 15th anniversary. And I can guarantee you it's because we both, not all the time, every day, 24/7, but we are both conscious of giving and loving and serving each other in our own ways without expectations. My husband serves and loves by making coffee every morning, by making breakfast every morning. He doesn't buy flowers per se. He doesn't give, wrapped gifts a lot, but he loves in his own way. And it's vital to realize how your partner and how your significant other loves you, and then be thankful for that and not expect anything else other than the way they love. There's a saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And, I not that I'm calling him a dog, but there is truth there. And that's not our purpose in relationships and in marriages, to change people. Our purpose is to raise them up and to accept them for who they are, and to love them just for them being them. Here's another quote that really resonated so much. People will go where they are given increase. And the supreme God, which desires increase in all and which knows all, will move towards you, men and women who have never heard of you. Your business will increase rapidly, and you will be surprised at the unexpected benefits which come to you. You will be able from day to day to make larger combinations, secure advantages, and to go into a more congenial vocation if you desire to do so. So I love that. I love that we don't always know what God's doing in the background, is what that says to me. We don't always know what's coming and what to expect, but as we're giving more and as we're not expecting anything, God will move everything and make miracles happen. It's beautiful. So also remember too that this is really key. The desire to rule for selfish gratification has been the curse of the world. And, this is where the competitive mind starts to come in. People being selfish and only thinking of themselves is not going to bring success and fulfillment. And this goes along with it. In order to master your environment and your destiny, it is not at all necessary that you should rule over your fellow man. When you fall into the world's struggle for the high places, being competitive, you begin to be conquered by fate and environment. And your getting rich becomes a matter of chance and speculation. Not only getting rich, obviously finding richness in your life in all areas. That's where you wake up today and you don't know if you're going to be happy or sad, because you're not in that creative mindset of I can create my own happiness. You're in the competitive mindset of, well, it depends on my environment. Don't let it depend on your environment. We have control of our destiny today. I talked about that in my Sunday Code to Love series, that destiny is today. It is not something to grasp outside of us or in the future. It is today. And the only person we're destined to be is who we choose. Who we choose to be. And that goes for our entire life. We're only destined to have what we choose. It's a choice. I'm going to give a quote here by Napoleon Hill. Now, I've been listening along with studying this book now. Robert Hollis, my mentor, has challenged our mastermind group to listen to the man can conceive and believe it can achieve. So the big difference there is most of the time you hear whatever the mind can conceive, we can achieve. But here's the kicker. We've got to have the belief. We have got to believe it and have that belief in ourselves that we are capable and worthy of that desire and that, what that is in our heart. Because just having that desire in our heart is proof enough that we're capable. I love that. So how do you increase your faith? How do we do that? How do we, increase our belief and knowing? So this is what this is Napoleon Hill's self-confidence formula, or faith formula. So 1, you've got to say, I know I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment, I promise to take action. Two, I realize the dominant thoughts in my mind eventually reproduce themselves outwardly and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. I will concentrate my thoughts 30 minutes a day at least on thinking of the person I intend to become. So putting yourself in the future by creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. So clear mental picture. You got to feel it, hear it, sense it. Use all your senses when you're putting yourself and visualizing your future self. 3, I know through the principles of auto-suggestion, what I hold in my mind will seek expression. I will devote 10 minutes a day to demanding self-confidence of myself. Basically speaking it into ourselves. 4, I've written a description of my definite chief aim in life and will never stop trying until I've developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. So we're not going to, it's normal not to believe in ourselves at some point. It's normal to doubt and worry and wonder, but we've got to use our mind and use our tools and resources that we have to grow our belief and to grow our faith. 5, nothing can endure. This is really important. Nothing can endure unless built upon truth and justice. I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all it affects. It's so important. A negative, and then he goes on to say here, a negative attitude towards others can never bring success. So one vital piece is discontinuing any negativity. Only focusing on positive. Only focusing on forward on what we want to achieve. And that is it. That is all I have. Let me look at the back and make sure I got through all the notes. Yep. That's all I have for you for this chapter. That was chapter 14, and I'll see you again in chapter 15. And I love you so much. Thank you. Bye.